Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars, some of my favourite people, and one of the most talented presenters of a generation, Helen Skelton. How are you?
That's a very nice thing to say.
You are not only delicious, but you're hugely talented, and you make TV look easy. That's the problem, isn't it? You can get on TV and suddenly lose it, and then everybody thinks you're rubbish.
I'm just going to sit and bask in these compliments. Thank you very much. So it's fun, isn't it? You know, I'm very lucky that I do a job that I like, and it's fun.
When did it become normal to sit in front of a camera in front of millions of people and make it look like it's just one person? Because that's the art, isn't it?
I think, I don't know if it ever feels normal. I think when you grow up on a show like Blue Peter, you do everything. And you do it every day, every week of the year. So you're employed 365 days a year. So you kind of don't know any different. I remember one of my first jobs after Blue Peter, I went to BBC Sport to do the London 2012 Olympics. And I got called in by the powers that be and he said, Helen, we've got a bit of a problem. I said, right. He said, yeah, we're a bit concerned because you're too relaxed. And apparently I was so relaxed on television that I didn't even realise I'd done it. Flipped my shoes off and put my feet underneath me on the couch. Well, obviously you don't do that when you're on the BBC breakfast. So.
No. Helen, could you look more nervous and a bit uncomfortable for us? We like that.
Yeah, could you be a bit awkward and staged, please? Anyway, so yes, funnily enough, you don't see me on that couch very often anymore because I never have my shoes on.
It's interesting that you mentioned the Olympics because that was the bit where you sort of went mainstream tabloid every day that they were interested. Is that normal again when you pick up a paper and suddenly people are judging you not on what you're saying but what you look like and what you're doing on the telly?
Don't worry about I know it's that people never believe that. I don't worry about any of that sort of stuff. Like, I've got 2 boys, I've got a husband, I've got parents and a brother, and as long as they're not embarrassed, as long as I can walk back in the house and they're like, yeah, that was okay, then I'm fine. I think it's a sort of dangerous route if you go down worrying. You know, don't we spend all day, every day telling the next generation, be who you want to be, don't worry what other people think. And I think that applies to us as well. As long as you can, hold your head up to your kids and your family at the end of the day, then that's all that matters, isn't it?
It's interesting as well with social media. I did a review on Friday night from a show that was charging £52, and the producer came out and said, I'm sorry, we're not rehearsed enough. We haven't done it all the way through. So if it goes wrong, we're very sorry. And I wrote a review that was scathing. And suddenly I was attacked on Twitter by a load of cast members for bullying them. And I thought, isn't it interesting now how the whole thing's sort of been hijacked? You can easily find yourself in a storm for doing nothing.
I'm no stranger to a storm. Again, it just depends how much you worry about stuff, doesn't it? Yeah. And social media's changed everything beyond recognition, hasn't it? I'm 35. I've been I started doing computer when I was in 2007. I was doing BBC sort of 2003, 2004. I remember being in a newsroom and you weren't allowed to use the internet for sources. Now that's the only source, isn't it?
Right.
Like then they go, sources said, I'm like, Twitter said. It's so funny how it sort of evolved and changed the landscape, and I think you've just got to sit back and look at it and take it all with a pinch of salt.
And the credible source thing's also interesting. You don't even need to be credible to be referred to, do you? You're just anybody having a say.
Well, there's just so much media to provide, isn't there? Everyone's like, quick, that'll do. It's a different world. Oh, we're so old and wise, aren't we?
I know. Well, I'm about your age. I'm 38, so I'm very old compared to you. But we look at your life now, and there you are, sort of the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect TV presenter from my perspective. And we spoke earlier in the year, and you said, well, actually, the reality is every day's a struggle to balance the 3. How are you doing at the moment?
I think every working parent has got to kind of keep the juggle and keep the plate spinning and sort all that stuff. And I think at this time of year, I'm really organised this year going into Christmas. I've done loads of my Christmas shopping on Amazon, used a gift finder, got it all sorted because I want to go into Christmas and enjoy it. I don't want to be fraught. I don't want to be frazzled, running here, there and everywhere, feeling guilty because I haven't gone to the pantomime or the school concerts. I've got organised so that I can enjoy December. That's my sort of plan this year. Normally, I'm the person running around on Christmas Eve, missing out on the present that I needed to get, stressing out that I've got the wrong thing, then running around trying to deliver it. I refuse to do that this year. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game, trying to get organised, done loads of shopping online, get myself sorted so that I can have a good time.
I'm not being paid to say this, but I just moved house, and if it wasn't for Amazon Prime, I'd have nothing in my house whatsoever. I literally was 17 times a day thinking I haven't got this right, and the next day it was there. I hear they're building this new thing at East Midlands Airport where within 1 hour I'll be able to get anything I want within an hour. It's extraordinary, isn't it? So even Christmas Eve you could go, oh, right, forgot that, here it is. An hour later, they turn up at your door. I don't know how they do it.
I know, and do you know what? My mum and dad are of that generation where you buy from your local person at the local street, this, that, and the other. They think it's like witchery. Do you know what I mean? They're like, what is this wizardry where someone's just going to come to your door with whatever it is, the random part something fell off my buggy the other day, and I was like, oh, I need that part. So I've just literally ordered it on Amazon, and I know it'll be there. I think it's just to make life easier, isn't it?
Yeah, I know there's an argument that we should be going to shops, but the reality is most of us haven't got...
Both.
You can, yeah. And you know what? For something like a part for a buggy or screws or nails that I've been buying, who can be bothered? Just get them to deliver it. It's marvellous.
And also then you go to the high street and you enjoy it and you have a nice time and you engage. Yeah. Because can you imagine trailing around the high street with my 1-year-old and 3-year-old looking for the part for the buggy? Not going to happen. But I think the two complement each other. There's it's horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's talk about your life today and whether you pinch yourself. I mean, you've got to talk to idiots like me, which is unfortunate, but the rest of the day you're doing proper showbiz stuff. Can you believe how well it's going? Because it is remarkable, isn't it?
I love your impression of my life. You're so kind. No, I'm a mum and I work, so I deal with all that stuff like I'm dashing out the door this morning at early doors because then I'll have a long day today because I've had a few, the start of the week at home with the kids. And you're juggling all that stuff. I've been texting my husband all the way here going, have you made sure Louis got his gloves? Have you made sure Ernie's got his hat? So my life is very normal. I mean, yes, of course there are days when I get to do fun things like photo shoots and get my hair and makeup done. It's funny, it's so funny. I spend 6 days a week probably not even brushing my hair and the classic mum bun. And then if you do the odd like photo shoot or whatever, one of my friends said to me the other day, I bumped into this woman, she said, gosh, Helen's always so glamorous. My friend went, don't worry, I told her the truth. And Mum came up to me in a playgroup the other day and she went, oh, don't change. She went, don't get thin, don't get glamorous. I was like, oh, thanks.
Oh my God, don't get thin. Did she really say that?
Don't get thin, don't get glamorous, just stay how you are, down to earth. I was like, okay.
Do you think that's your appeal? I mean, I watch what you do on the telly and there's a relatability. And I think probably 40 years ago on the telly, you wouldn't have had work. But now that's what we want. We want to find somebody we associate with and somebody that we connect with. And you do that. I mean, women generally love you. And that's hard, isn't it, to get women to like women?
I don't think all women love me. Do you know what? I'm just really lucky. I've always been very, very lucky that I've worked on programs that I care about, that matter to me, and I think that is possibly something that some people engage with. I love our glorious little island we call Britain, and I'm so lucky that on Countryfile I get to explore it and do fun stuff and showcase it and say, look, this is good and that's good and all the rest of it. And people keep asking me about Instant Gardener, which is being repeated all the time on BBC. I made that about 4 or 5 years ago, but it's being repeated. And again, same sort of concept, like good people who deserve good gardens. And I'm lucky that so far, touch wood, I've made programmes that I believe in and that I care about. And I think that possibly, if people like that, then that keeps me happy, and I think that's probably the people that you're talking about. You
fobbed off my compliment 3 times already, but the reason I'm so sycophantic towards you, I mean, let's not forget that Countryfile is the most watched programme of the weekend other than Strictly. It's phenomenally popular and it's in so many homes, and it does it humbly and quietly. To be on a programme that credible is rare, and it is a testament to your talent. I hope you know that.
Thank you very much, that's very kind. I've been part of Countryfile for nearly 9 years now, and I don't do it a lot. I don't do it every week. I don't do it a lot, partly because that's what the show wants, but actually that works for me because I've got 2 little children, so I couldn't possibly be at the corner of Aberdeen every week. I sort of go a couple of months not doing it, and then I'll do a couple. But yes, I really like that programme. It's a programme that has a lot of political challenges and everyone has a view, and I always think it's a bit like Marks and Spencer's in that everyone has an opinion on it, but not everyone shops there. So I sort of, and that is Blue Peter's the same.
But there's also something cosy about it, isn't there? That's what's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I'm going to be back. So I've actually filmed for them last week, and I'm filming for them this week, and then I'm doing a few more in the new year. So yeah, I'm sort of clinging on to my Countryfile time.
And what about your ambition? I mean, you've done the sort of live sports stuff, and I mean, that undoubtedly went well because everybody seemed to be talking about you, if nothing else. And then the Countryfile is, as I say, the most watched programme when Strictly's not on at the weekend. I guess you've got various options where you go now. What would you like to do?
I love making a nice crafted telly, which is hard. These sort of testing times of budgets. I love doing live sport, which again is hard in a time where people are sort of. I think the tricky thing with telly is people are always looking for the next new thing and the next new presenter and the next whatever. So it's funny. I actually had this conversation with a couple of colleagues the other day, and we were like, when you first start out in telly, because I started presenting Blue Peter in 2007. I started presenting New John in 2006, and when you first start out, you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to do the other. And these days, it's just about like, I want to stay in the game because I really enjoy it.
Absolutely.
So, and that's sort of where I'm at the minute. I'm really lucky that it's feast and famine, so I can fit that in around my boys and my family, and I get to be on nice big programs like Countryfile, who still seem to hit big with the audience. So that's nice. And I know it's a bit of a wishy-washy answer, but that's what I like doing.
You do keep it classy. You don't seem to do sort of the obvious reality stuff that would just get you on the TV and probably get you a huge paycheck. Is that deliberate?
These are the things that come back and haunt me. Wow, it's like being grilled by Paxson.
Is that an insult or a compliment?
No, it's a compliment because I think it's a very informed question, and it's very easy to have an opinion on people and go, oh, they've just cashed in there. But, my dad used to do it all the time, and now obviously he's seen the way my career's panned out, and he'll be like, oh, yeah, you've got to do that stuff. My guiding light will always be, does it work for my family? Does it keep my family happy? And if it does, then yeah, I'll do it. Of course, there's been things that have come in and my friends have gone, oh, don't do that, it's trashy. But actually, would I enjoy it? Yeah, I would, so maybe I'd do it. Does it fit around my kids? Not right now, so maybe not now, but I wouldn't. What I'm saying is I'd never say never. I think the one thing that you've got to trust me when I say is I do something because I enjoy it, and I do something because it works for my family. I think the minute you start chasing paychecks or worrying about where it's going to get you on the career ladder, that's the ticket to unhappiness, isn't it?
I absolutely believe you. Finally, coming up to Christmas, obviously Amazon are there who can get your presents to you quicker than anybody else as far as I'm aware. Are you looking forward to it? This must be the most magical time as a mother.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've been really lucky that we've been abroad the last sort of few years with my husband's work, and we were in that sort of little bubble of ignorant bliss where with my one-year-old, we just went away to a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Now he's 3 and he knows what's going on, and my youngest is 1. We are full-on 100% in it, every Santa trips, the carol concerts, the pantomimes.
Can we see your house from space with all the Christmas lights? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Yeah, so we've never done that before, but literally my husband is already planning what's going to happen outside our house at Christmas. We're going to be that family.
I don't blame you. You deserve it. Helen, I've got such respect for you. You're so talented. Keep it classy, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate talking to you.
Nice to talk to you.